this is the, so we have to swear in the members.
It's done.
They did it.
It's done.
When I arrived.
Oh, okay.
So we can hear the public.
You need to reorganize the board first.
These two guys, raise your right hand.
No, that's done.
I did
done?
that for them.
But
I
you
thought
need
you were
to, you need to
nominating.
reorganize.
I nominate Dave to be our secretary.
You need a chair, a vice chair, and a
Okay, well,
secretary.
I nominate Tom to be our chair, and Gavin to be our vice chair, and Dave to be our secretary.
Is there a second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Alright.
No.
Motion.
No. I just got up. So, any public comments? Just listening?
Just listening.
I'm on the agenda, I think, but.
No.
You get an agenda?
Yeah. Yeah. Town clerk?
Yep.
Okay, well, I did have the minutes for Gavin to sign, but,
You want another
because
one?
Tom wasn't here, so that's down. We got the results from the, hearing that went to the state, their reappraisal. They held up our reappraisal, so here's the results if you guys wanna read it. So, he does have the ability to go further.
Yeah.
But there's, the, decision came today.
Where does that come from?
Department of Taxes.
Thank you.
When it comes back around, you can look at it, more information. And I just had the minutes and the oaths and I'm done. That's it. So, good night.
Congratulations on a successful election. No insurrections, no challenges.
Yeah, well, it's early. I think that'll come. November. Good night.
No.
Good night.
Good night.
So Tori, I guess you're up.
So we actually have a few things that we wanted to do. There are a few people who want to talk about the NRPC Board of Commissioners appointment, and I think
Doug should
in
talk
order
first.
to do it right, I think Doug should probably talk.
Doug, step on up.
Okay,
If you want.
thank you. I've served on the board for you guys for a few years now, and I need to resign from the board because of health issues that I have. So, I'd like to inform the board that I need to resign, and that, Emily has called me and said that she's interested in joining the board in my position. So it's up to you gentlemen to determine who you want to have replace myself. I will inform the board through an email tomorrow that that's going to happen.
You'll inform
Regional planning?
Catherine and you mean the
Yeah, I'll do
regional
that.
planning?
Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
When's the next meeting?
They meet the last Wednesday of each month.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thank you for serving.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
So there are two people here that are interested in replacing Doug. We have two positions on NRPC and Doug filled one of them, so the other position is actually vacant.
Actually, I realized, I spoke with Brian and got clarity through an email that Chuck just gave me that
Oh,
there
right,
was
Chuck's on it.
there was an appointment of Chuck in September.
Right. So there's one
There's one
vacancy.
vacancy.
Forgot about that too. There's one vacancy and two people are interested and they are both here to speak to you about that interest.
I'll go first, I guess. Well, you actually ladies first.
You can pop up.
Ladies first.
Do you want me up here?
Yeah, grab a seat.
Hello. How are you guys? Yeah, so I been, involved in these types of boards before. When I lived in Massachusetts, like 10 years ago now, I had served on the Conservation Commission for the municipality that I lived in. So I was on that for about 4 years. Really enjoyed being able to be involved in those projects, learning on what's going on in the community, and making sure that we're making smart choices and that the voices of the community are being heard. Now I'm on the Development Review Board in St. Albans, really enjoying being part of that board, learning the projects that are going on, the people that are interested in developing, but also, and I'm also a real estate agent, so I know I have like the feedback from the public as what's needed, as far as like affordable housing, where people want to live, the types of work that people are in, the types of work that are bringing people to the area, the types of work that's keeping people in the area, quite frankly, and the communities that they want to see and the ways that those communities can prosper. So that's kind of the day-to-day feedback that I get from the community, just because of my, involvement in my profession. And then also, being a young person in the community, raising a family here is something that we've looked forward to doing, and we're now doing it, and making sure that this area continues to be a place that we want to raise our family in is important for me and my husband, but for me as part of being part of this organization. Questions? I know I'm not currently a resident of Fairfield. I obviously own property here, and we are making every effort to live here, whichever way is going to get us there the quickest. So maybe it won't even be on Church Road. But yeah.
So I'm not sure how that plays out on Regional Planning Commission, do you?
For the residency
For the
requirement?
resident?
I think we'd have to look at our bylaws, but why don't we
Okay.
interview and do some research and.
Yeah, to find out.
I can
I also
give you a
don't,
little bit of information. On the planning commission, they do not require you to be a resident of the town that you're from. It's up to the select board.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
But do they need to be where do you live?
St. Albans.
Okay.
Doug, do you know
Close
when
enough.
your term is up?
It'd be July.
July.
July or August.
That was when you were appointed.
Yeah.
It might go on our, because we've learned about the planning, it might be the same calendar, so we'll have to double check that.
Yeah, I think that we should verify, and if it's not clear, go with either the planning and zoning appointments or the after town meeting appointments, which would be today.
Right.
Chuck, do you know?
No, I do not.
No one told you either.
All I know is when I was appointed, I was taking over Brian's position, which was a 2-year position. Is that correct, Brian?
No, it was infinite.
It was interesting.
It doesn't
So, okay,
say-
so I'm infinite, I guess I'm infinite now, I get no. But I know that
I
they,
think,
yeah.
No, I don't know the
So I
answer.
can- I can-
I'll find out. Yeah. I
I'll
think-
find out.
Okay.
And then we'll all know.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you.
Hello, I think you guys know me, but Corey Crossman. I am a Fairfield resident. I am not a real estate agent, which I can go both ways. So I don't have, I guess, maybe conflicts of interest if I were to help out with a regional plan, for example. I don't know how all the local housing prices and market is going to go, but I don't think that would disadvantage me in any way in this role. I've read the regional plan several times. On the last revision, I actually sent some recommended updates to that plan based off of some things that I was seeing with our current regs and bylaws to Sam, somebody. So I am familiar with it. I've worked with Greta in different capacities. I'm currently working on that common school board committee and kind of working with her and bouncing ideas off the town. So I feel like I have a good pulse on the residents in the town. I've lived here for, I think, 4 years now. have a little farm here, so, yeah, I think, pretty in tune with what's going on. I think I can represent Fairfield pretty well. I get along with Chuck, I think we balance each other out in a lot of ways. And I don't know, I think it'd be a good fit. But Emily's very smart, capable as well, so I think either option you can't go wrong, so. Thanks.
Thank you, Tori.
Thank you, Jordan.
You wanna discuss that later or now or?
I'd like to discuss it later. If that,
In executive session.
We're gonna wait and find out, let's figure out residency.
Termlets and residency and all that stuff, I need to find out, so you'll need to table a decision until the next meeting, so I can
Do
get
we
that
want-
background information for
Do
you.
we wanna get in the habit anyways of, like we did with whatever we did last, of advertising if there's an opening, or? I don't know, that's something we should just
Yeah.
get in the habit of doing that way, it's not,
This is public,
yes.
it's transparent.
Because I didn't realize it was an appointment until tonight either,
Yeah.
so.
Well, it wasn't official, because we didn't know.
No, I realize that, but that's what I'm saying, to be.
Yeah, right.
well, we do. Yeah, so it's just, today is
Is it relevant?
11, so we get,
So
For
the
2
next
weeks.
meeting, I won't be here, but Melissa has accepted the responsibility of doing the research or any kind of help with this process.
let's do that, let's do our research and
And then the meeting, your next select.
make an announcement, then we kind of we've set up a good precedent.
Yep.
It's all
Your next
transparent.
select board meeting is the Monday before the Wednesday of the next
Perfect.
meeting.
Perfect.
Can you put an advertisement out similar to the last one, just saying there's
I
an
can
open
do that.
position?
I don't know what the messenger's thing is, timetable
Does it need
is,
to go in the messenger? Put on
but I can definitely
front
put it
porch
on
forum
front
and
porch forum
Facebook,
and
the Facebook Fairfield page.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Does anyone look at the messenger anymore?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah?
oh, yeah.
Saw by the register one day. That's what you got.
For $6,
Read over it.
no, $12, just by boosting our advertisement for zoning, for $12, we reached so many more people than doing any other advertising. So I'm gonna plug that.
Oh,
as an
on
option.
Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yeah.
What, Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh,
if you-
yeah, it's
if you
amazing.
boost
How
an
many
ad,
Yeah,
it
it's
becomes
ridiculous.
present to everybody. Okay, so is that me?
Approval of the minutes.
We
You
have
guys
2
did that.
meetings.
I wasn't here.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes dated 26 February.
Second.
Yeah.
Any errors, comments, or issues? All those in favor?
Alright, I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes dated 4 March.
Second. All those in favor?
Alright,
So
You were up.
that's me.
oh, she's our new data entry assistant.
I can start there. So Sandra Roby started last Monday, and she's gonna be, working with us. She's been training, she helped with this evening's accounts payable. We have, a good dynamic. I think that she's fitting right in, so that's my only update on her. Hopefully you'll all be able to meet her at some point soon. I documented, let's see, so, Mo and I went up to, what's the name of your Mackenzie Road, and documented all the segments that are related to what he wants to do to utilize our grants and aid money. So that was the pre-scoping meeting that we had to have, and that information is gonna go to the state so that we can get that started right on time. Keeping on with our, I have a hard time breathing in these, but I don't wanna get sick before I leave. So, bear
Just
with
kick
me.
everybody out.
Yeah, everybody. You don't mind. So bear with me as I gasp for air in here. The certificate of highway mileage is here, and that is, actually, I think that you signed it. It's the compliance, of our highway mileage needs to be signed tonight by the select board. The previous one was sent back to us to have signed again by at least one other person, so I suggest that at least 2 people sign this document.
Yeah, I thought we signed it.
No, that one was the one that we didn't all sign, we need a motion instead. The certification of compliance is this one, and it just says that we've adopted the standards, the road standards that are, part of our community and part of the state of Vermont. We do this every year. Let's see, Mo requested that I arrange hydraulic studies for grants on South Road and that ditch on Mackenzie Road. So hopefully we'd like to get 2 grants if possible. So the one that we have right now is to make sure that they're up to standards by our municipal grant permit.
Which one's the South Road?
Where on South Road?
South Road. Oh, well, I called it culvert 12902. It's
that one?
Yeah, that one. It's before, I think it's the last one before, it's not Woods Hill Road. Oh, God, I forget names of roads so badly without a map.
The last one before.
Buck Hollow,
Yeah.
not Woods Hill, Buck Hollow. Similar, right? Same question.
Always part.
I know, right?
Didn't that one just get done?
No,
No,
there's,
the other way,
it was a different one.
probably the one just before the tin barn, maybe, that one there.
There are a couple of them. So the one that wasn't done in that area.
Because the one right before.
We went and
Buck
looked at
Hollow
it,
got
Right
done.
before the brick school, we did that one.
Yeah,
So it's probably around when you
the
start.
one before,
After you go by the brick school,
So
before
we
the tin barn.
yeah.
We definitely went out and looked at it and it hasn't been done, so he is requesting that, so the last meeting you approved for Tyler Billingsley to be called to discuss hydraulic studies. That one is done, that one is going to be done this week, and, a design for Mackenzie Road, that's the area that floods every time it rains, there's a big rain. Mo also wanted to see if there could be a plan to correct the erosion issue under the small bridge on South Road. So he's gonna talk directly to Tyler about that. I'm not really clear on what that issue is and what he's exactly looking for.
So on Mackenzie Road, the Friends of Northern Lake Champlain are working with that study group. They've got a project identified on that road.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. So there could be some synergy.
Okay,
There's funding that's available for erosion
okay,
as it relates to the pond.
okay.
And they've been up 2 or 3 site visits working with, I think they probably reached out to, I know they've reached out to the landowners.
Okay, that's good. So this is,
And I can get you the point of contact, but it's Fitzgerald Associates, civil engineers out of Colchester there's a report that they've been promising to report any time now, but could
okay.
be an opportunity for some combination.
I'll get in touch I'll see if I can connect with them tomorrow so that we can
I'll
either
forward you
hold
the
off.
contacts that I have.
Okay. So I'll actually ask Tyler to set pause on that. So the grant is due, the grants for class 2 roads and structures is due third week of next month. And that'll give me a week to turn it around when I get back, which I can do as long as I have hydraulic studies finished. And Tyler said that he would be able to do them this week or next. So I don't have any doubt that that can happen.
But if you pause it.
But if I pause it, then we're gonna miss the grant deadline. So I'm wondering if we should just go ahead with
Oh, yeah,
the
go
hydraulic
for it.
study
Yeah, that's-
anyway?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm gonna send you an email.
If you
with
don't
all
use
the-
it now, you'll keep
we
it
can use
later.
it later, yeah.
I'll send you an email with all the latest on that.
That would be great, thank you. Okay. I looped David in with the conversation about the common school wastewater. Dave Persons
Thank
on
you.
that because, let's see, Tyler referred us to Jason Bernard, who has more experience in wastewater and septic design. And before they do anything, Jason and hopefully David or one of you will go over with him and take a look at the site. That's basically where we are with that. I don't know that there's a big rush on it, but it would be nice to at least know if we're looking at something that's possible. The Old Town Clerk's lease is signed by Northwest Fiberworks.
Hey!
Yeah, and shout out to Brian, he did some touch-ups to the building, it was a little
Impressive.
touch-up here,
Impressive.
put up a little door there, you know,
Stop
it was just really helpful. The cleaners came, they took care of doing the floors and got all of the gross stuff that was crawling around in the basement out, and so that's done, and then we fueled up the tank. So part of their lease is that we fuel it up and then they would fuel it when they leave. The ramp, which would be going, James Gilmet has said that he would get me an estimate for what it would take to get an ADA accessible ramp. He hasn't done that yet, but I know he will, so we're still waiting on that. I'm just really excited. They're gonna come and probably move in. They're probably moving in while I'm not here, but they're gonna get keys tomorrow. And I think that we're at a good point.
Did you change the lock?
Oh, and the doorknob is totally different now. So it's a
Cipher lock?
it's a cipher lock, so
Good.
we can get in and
So they
out.
won't need keys?
Oh, there's an override key. So
Oh, there's an override?
There is, yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Kathy, we have a temporary handicap ramp if they wanna use it until they get a more permanent one.
Oh, interesting.
It's like a metal one,
Yeah,
and we have it for the Historical Society, but if you need it, or
Let
if
me-
they wanna use it, just let us know.
I'll let them know.
Okay.
I'll see them tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see, the tax anticipation loan was processed, taken out, signed, deposited. And I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-point plan to be gone for 2 weeks. One of which is that we have early checks to sign. In order for us to do accounts payable and have all the checks signed, I've requested that accounts payable be given to me early, and I'll be processing them next Tuesday. And I would like to request that at least 2 of you come in and sign the warrants on Wednesday morning, so I can print those and sign them. And we have, I've been working with Sandra, so she's gonna make sure that those get sent out on the day after your select board meeting. Still, and before I leave, I'm gonna complete the workers' comp audit, which I've been picking away at, it's still going. I am also training Melissa and Steven to post agendas and minutes on the website. While I'm gone, Melissa will be bringing in the warrants to the next meeting for approval. And when I get back, before I leave, I'm gonna be finishing up the municipal financial plan for town highways, and then that'll be ready for you to sign when I get back. And when we meet in April, the first meeting in April, you could agree to on the 10th, which is great, because then I can get things situated before that day. So, that's it for me.
What do you need from us?
Just that signing, I think, is the big one. And being present, if I'm gonna be putting a forward note to Linda So if something comes in and people need to contact you all, I'm assuming that Linda will be able to connect with you.
Debt service payments, any kind of stuff that will be delayed or a problem or a challenge or?
No, the big thing is next week we're closing the quarter. Next Tuesday, I'm going to be processing payroll for the following week, so it's all set to go. I'll know the taxes, which means that I'll be able to process month end, quarter end, all the taxes and everything that needs to be done related to that before I leave. I think we're okay. I can schedule payments. I'm scheduling the federal tax payments ahead. You can do that online, so I don't see that there would be any problems. It's just being present to, just checking in with Linda, seeing if there's anything that needs to come out that needs to be done.
So she knows how to get hold of everybody.
Yeah, and Sandra has been, she took first stab at coding the accounts payable. I reviewed and revised, and she did a really good job. So if invoices come in, she can code and get things started with accounts payable, so I think that's gonna be fine.
Okay.
No doubt. And I'll be gone. Did I mention I'm going? Oh, okay. I know it's not all about me, but I'm so excited.
Good.
That's it for me.
Wow,
I know.
it's a record.
Is it possible?
Pretty weird.
I should delegate more tomorrow.
Did we cover those new business items? In your,
Yeah, so town highway compliance is the thing that you just signed, and then the annual financial plan I'll be doing before I leave, and I'll bring, when we come back on the 10th. That needs to be in, before we submit our grants, so we should be
so
all set.
one request for maybe a week or 2 weeks after you get back is that we review the real estate questions that we talked about previously for
Yes.
closure on
A few things,
the real estate items.
definitely, that makes sense. Oh, I apologize, my goodness. So, this is the bid for paving. We're a month ahead, actually. I looked at last year and previous years, but I would suggest that we get this posted before I leave as well, and then unseal the bids on the 10th and make a choice by the second meeting in April. I talked to Mo, he said that the road will be ready for paving this spring, but it says, the way it's written, the way I wrote this is, the road will be ready for paving this spring to be completed by July 1st. Or after August 19th, to be completed by September 30th, because of the rerouting that's happening. And he wants to pave one more mile on Chester Arthur in the direction of Bakersfield. So,
That's smart thinking.
yeah. So it would be machine paving starting at the end of, the new asphalt for 1 mile, same plan with shim, and the difference between last year and this year is that there's a bid document, and this should be a better way of moving forward.
So what are you bidding on, a mile on Chester Arthur and what else?
Just 1 mile on Chester Arthur, and based on estimates, it should be covered by the 140,000.
That'll use up our budget.
It'll use up our budget. Yeah. Good question. So unless you all have any concerns about that timeline, or if you'd rather push it off,
You're giving them 2 windows. Before July 4th.
either before July 1st and, or after August 19th, which is,
We're gonna give them a deadline after August 19th, because
it
otherwise.
said to
we'll
be
get-
completed by September 30th.
Okay.
It's usually September 15th, but it seems like that's late, you know.
Also, when are they supposed to be done? It's supposed to be,
It's supposed to be a 26-day closure.
so you're
So-
giving it a 2-week screw up?
Yeah.
July 1 to,
Yeah,
that's smart, August 19.
I'm giving him a 2-week screw up.
Yeah.
And we're still looking for someone to step up on the transformation committee for
Yes, we have.
our representative for, yeah, so we're still looking for a member of the community to raise their hand and say, I will serve on the regional planning.
Transportation
Trans-
Advisory Committee.
Right, and we've been advised that that's a really important advocacy to kind of,
There again, if we advertise, I mean, if we could find somebody with a engineering background,
Yeah.
somebody motivated in that area, that would be,
I posted it on the window and I posted it on Facebook. I posted it once on the front porch forum, but I can do that again.
Do them both together maybe?
Yeah,
yeah, that'd be good.
How much time does it take again?
It's once a month,
it's once a month.
but the challenge is it's during the day.
I think it's quarterly, actually. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure it's
quarterly?
quarterly. And it includes, you work on identifying the priorities for roads in the area. There's also advocacy that the municipalities can do with our representatives through this committee, which I really strongly suggest we are doing. We compete with other municipalities to construct bridges that need to be changed. They have to be constructed, and we do that through grants. We can be identified, and they'll choose one of like 7 priorities in the area. That process is just not, it's untenable. And we are competing through grants to change culverts. Meanwhile, the state of Vermont on the town highway side has lots of opportunity and money available to them for projects. And it becomes this question, it becomes a question, what needs to change so the municipalities can move forward with the roads in the most effective ways?
At that select board meeting in the St. Albans town that I attended like 2 weeks ago, the state is worried that they're gonna have leftover funds. There aren't enough applications, and.
It's
like,
complicated.
Our
Yeah.
Bridge 51, but that was one of the things that was briefed, is that they're looking for applications.
Yeah.
Chuck?
Yeah, and I think part of the thing you have to be careful there is because those funds that we use, they go back into the general fund. So one of the things that was noted at the last NRPC meeting was for the roads was, unfortunately, because of COVID, a lot of people aren't showing up to these Zoom meetings. So I'm looking to get involved more to try and figure out how we get, and one of the things is the road commissioners are the ones sometimes that they need to hear from, and we're not hearing enough from them supposedly. So that's just from the meetings that I've listened to. And that is what, you're right, Brian, that there's money available, so I think, but if it doesn't get utilized, it has to go, because they have to budget that every year, and if it doesn't get budgeted, it goes back, so it's a way for them to want to spend the money.
And
So,
the
it's
the other question also is, we have grants, like the structures grant, it's a $200,000 grant. They only just increased it to $200,000 this year, it was $175,000. And that covered less than half of the project that we had on North Road last year. We used our ARPA funds to match, but ARPA funds are almost gone, so it's not like we can keep doing that.
Right.
There's some fundamental questions about if they're not gonna change, there's structure issues, I think.
Do we just not have a road commissioner now?
So we do have a road commission, we have a road foreman,
Okay.
and there are 4 full-time men working the roads in Fairfield for 100 miles of road. So and we have 2 part-time folks who will sub for them. But when it comes to attending meetings, it's sort of having a conversation with Mo, it gives us a lot of insight into what needs to happen, so.
I've been entertaining the idea of volunteering for this, since you mentioned it and made it look so attractive the last time. But I don't have.
Were you actually planning on volunteering for the dog? The animal control?
I can't.
That's next on the agenda.
I can't
Stay put for a
on the
minute.
other hand. But I don't have an engineering background, but I'm pretty good at advocacy, and I do know my way around backhoes and heavy equipment and how to take care of things that are met.
But just to have a vocal voice locally,
Yeah.
it can be done because there was a previous man on the board that spoke out a lot and he got a bridge for the town.
I can get us a bridge. There's
Yeah.
That's
Bridge
all,
50,
you know,
Bridge
all it
51.
is a squeaky wheel gets the most, you know, a little
Yeah.
oil.
We have $1 million bridge, it's gonna need to be replaced, Bridge 51 on,
On
Okay.
Parity Road, it's actually good.
No,
No, Chester.
Oh, Chester Arthur needs to
Yeah,
be
the one down
replaced.
below Brandon's there?
Right,
Oh, that-
yeah, it needs to be replaced, and
Yeah.
actually, just as another side note, like $19,000 is what they gave us when, they decided to replace the bridge that's covering the same river on the state road. They gave us $19,000 to deal with dust and, to deal with road damage and to deal with, monitoring and enforcing, speeds and things. And if you do the math, that basically leaves a very small amount for enforcement. And they're not recognizing, for example, that bridge, you don't wanna go 2 ways on that bridge. There has to be like something on that bridge that tells people when to go.
Yeah, it's a certain look.
Just
you gotta stare.
Yeah, so
Hit the
their
gas.
calculations for how to,
Did
they just aren't quite there yet.
the officer who spoke up at the meeting, at the town meeting, was he gonna meet with, was he a police officer? Who was
I
it?
have a call into him, but,
Okay,
yeah, what were you gonna say?
In St. Albans,
In
he's a
Yeah.
police officer in St.
Yeah.
Albans.
I know he is, he's a good guy, he'll try to help out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, if you don't wind up with someone with an engineering background, I'd be a good advocate, so.
I don't think it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it has to be, I'm just thinking, it would be up that person's, wheelhouse if something, but anybody, like you
But
said,
that's a
you've got a
bridge that
tenant.
needs, I mean, it's already had 2 holes in it and they had, we had the state come up and help us fix it. If we get, they claim they're gonna put them down the south road, but we know that they're not gonna go that far, they're gonna cut that road right there, and that bridge is gonna get pounded this summer. With tractor trailers and all the roads that, not the main roads, these back town roads are gonna get trouble with all that traffic, that's 1,000 cars a day that go through this village.
And one more thing I'll say that, we don't know what the flooding's gonna be, that could flood out that road completely. I've been down to Candy's place where it's right there at the bridge, so
Yeah.
we have no idea. If we get more flooding, that could be a disaster down
I think if Linda's willing to be the person, I think we ought to go that road.
there.
What's that?
I think we ought to, if Linda wants to be the person.
Let's do the same thing, let's add it to our list of things, you're thinking about it, right? Give
I'll
you,
volunteer to do it, if you need me to do it.
yeah,
So we've been advertising that one for 4 weeks now.
okay, perfect.
If we wanna continue, we can, or if Linda will do it, then
Right, as long as we've had it out there and I think
it's on the
that's-
door, and
Sure.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
awesome. So does anybody wanna make a motion to that effect?
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Did someone make a motion?
Ron did.
Oh,
Chuck, I'm sending you an email on
Yes,
this,
sir.
on this bridge that came from the state of
Yeah.
Vermont, the report,
Okay.
this is the report.
Okay.
So
Who
you
do
won't,
I get up to speed with?
Yeah, just talk to me and also Mo, at some point you should speak with Mo.
I'm still down there with drones,
What was that?
measuring culverts and stuff.
I'll
You have no idea.
I'll make sure she knows.
Is that paving gonna be going on the same time as the bridge replacement?
No,
Okay,
the paving window is very clear.
okay.
It's before this or after, but not during.
I will do that.
I would too, I would
I
too.
would let him pound it and then,
And
No,
that
no,
was
no.
why I wanted to bring it to you guys.
huh?
After?
Yeah, after they pound it.
We can just take that right out, the spring part right out.
They're not gonna do a sound job in the spring anyways, we're a filler after the state jobs.
Okay,
We're gonna get a better price.
everybody agree on that? We can
Yeah.
just take that part out, okay. I can make that change. Okay,
I wouldn't want him pounded over.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
No.
Hey,
What's that? Oh, I make a motion, we approve, the warrants.
No. That's one we said, right? That's taken out.
hold on.
EJ Brown's not, that's it. That's actually-
Oh, yes, I thought I took that out, okay, yeah, that has to come out. So the warrants,
Make a
omitting
motion to approve the warrants omitting the EJ Prescott bill that's in there.
invoice.
It's a fire department bill, not a town bill.
Good catch. I'll second
That's how it
that
comes
motion.
out of the same pocket.
I
Okay,
know, but.
Dave seconded.
Perfect, yeah, so be it. And then we're gonna, I think there was a lady in the back who wanted to be a dog catcher.
I thought,
We're gonna find a way to, I don't
Yeah,
care if we
it's-
pay
it's
them, I don't care. We gotta
really
do
not
something. I-
Cause there was a
Joke.
loose, there was
It
a loose
really
dog
is.
yesterday too.
Tori?
it
Tori?
really is serious.
I was just telling John, before I
Are
came
you coming to
here,
the next meeting?
I had a
I'll
horse
nominate
loose.
you then.
I had a horse loose before this meeting, I'm not catching anything else.
Yeah,
No, I
Maybe we
don't.
can make it a package deal for two
it
applicants.
There you go.
really is
Well, I
a
think
thing.
you-
I've been to his house, there's 4 kids, he's got enough.
It's, if somebody is a animal, it's not even animals, it's people you gotta deal with most of the time.
What about the cat?
It's really.
Yeah, what about the cat people?
And the other thing we're gonna figure out is,
The cat people might have some, they might wanna help out with the
we'll tie
dog.
that in as a condition of getting your $500 a year.
I think you need to change the name from animal control to like animal improvement.
Pet
You
owner
know, like-
mediator.
Yeah, there you go. Honestly, you'll
That's
get more.
probably true.
You'll get more
We
bites.
need animal mediation officer.
Well, the
Yes.
first time they get hollered at by a neighbor whose dog or.
Oh, no.
In other towns, it's the constable that does the job.
Yeah, but it's more than that. There's nothing you can do. I mean, Tom calls me up and says a dog chased me down the road, and I call Ron and say, geez, you gotta tie your dog up, and you send him a letter, and that's,
That's it.
it's the same people all the time.
Is it the enforcement or the actual like catching of the animal that's?
Well, you can't touch anybody's animal. I mean, that would not roll well.
The select board, that nobody in the
And-
municipality can manage your animal for you. It's
So-
about helping them
So
figure out.
one of the other issues, and I'm not a proponent of more and more ordinances, but there's nothing written that your dog has to be tied, or if.
Maybe we should,
Revisit.
Put
I
on
was
the
supposed
list.
to, I was supposed to.
yeah,
bring
come
it.
up
No,
with
it's okay,
something.
it's okay.
Yeah, we should have we should enhance the policy.
Yeah, so we don't have
To
policy.
create a leash ordinance?
No, we should have a best practices from VLCC
So-
about like how to deal with this exposure that we're,
I've talked to a couple of dog catchers around, Fairfax and Fletcher have it's a simple, if your dog does this, we warn you, if it does it again, we impound it.
yeah.
Not saying that we're necessarily, but at least so there's something on the books, because VSB doesn't deal with it. The wardens are only, VSB comes in, no, they don't do anything now, the wardens come in if it's chasing wildlife or being abused. There's basically nothing, so.
Yeah, and it defaults to state statute, which is really nothing as well. I
Pretty-
mean, if somebody gets bitten, there's a process,
Yeah.
When you get back.
but that's not enough. So when I get back, yes, we can definitely work on that.
That's it.
Anything else?
Anything from the public? Any more comments?
What's that, Tom?
I was just seeing if anybody had any more.
Thank you, Doug, for serving.
Yeah.
Chuck, give us a briefing maybe in a future meeting on
Yeah, I've only been like 3 meetings, so
Yeah.
I'm really learning, but as soon as
Sure.
I can, I would definitely step in and give you
Sure.
a briefing on what's going on. And, trying to figure out what committee.
I think we'll just learn about the water future.
Oh, yeah, the one thing that was really, I think I mentioned this before, but the one of the things that they're looking at right now is they're reviewing all the FEMA maps with regard to, what they call, what are the flood zones? And the problem is that they haven't updated in some places 30 to 50 years. So what they've done now is they've gone in, it's my understanding, with LiDAR to go in and look where all that vegetation has grown up around those areas of where our floodplains. And unfortunately, a number of places that have been developed are in floodplains. Because at that time it wasn't the 100-year plain, there hasn't been flooding. And so a lot of development is occurring now, and already what has occurred in floodplains. So one of the things, initiatives they're looking at is to go back to towns and say, hey, look, you need to look at your zoning regulations of what are the floodplains. So that you're not building developments in what could be floodplains or what could be floodplain runoffs. So that's a real big initiative, because I think there was either 8 or 10 municipalities whose floodplains, their emergency services are in the floodplain. So your vehicles are flooded. So you can't even get the vehicles. There's a couple towns, I think they couldn't even get the vehicles out because it flooded so quickly. So that's one of the big initiatives that they're bringing up, is to look at that. So I don't know in Fairfield where or what that's gonna be about, but that's gonna be coming out. Because then FEMA can say, hey, you know, in the future, say, you know, what FEMA money may or may not be available because of what is the floodplain. So that's a big initiative. I know they're bringing up. And it was very interesting. I learned a lot. I mean, it's a very, but I will definitely get back to it. I've been trying to figure out my way, to figure out what groups, and I think it's important that we keep abreast of that. I know there's definitely some issues that I'm looking at, what I want to get involved and try to see what committees to be involved with and try to figure, you know, Brian, what you've been involved with, so I'm gonna pick your ear a little bit too, so. But that was one of the issues I thought was pretty amazing that they're looking at. And I didn't realize how many towns were really in a bad situation. And if you look at all those communities that flooded last year, you go from Mount Pillier to down to Route 100, all those communities were sitting in the floodline. And
Some of
like I said,
Mount Pierre's solution could be done really easy if they, you know, do a channel and some, but it's just.
But you know, it's crazy, if you look at the Capitol, right behind the Capitol's a mountain, all that water just comes right off there, and there's 2 creeks that come right into the town, and all that water runoff.
Anywhere downstream, it just gets more and more, because you add.
Yeah. Well, you guys, I mean, you know what happened in Fairfax, all that land back up to Jefferson, that whole thing just.
A lot of those towns are built on those.
Sure. Yeah, they were built at, that's where the mills were at one time, so that's where it started. That's what the issue is, I'm looking at some other things, so anyway, just give you an update. Yeah, definitely, Brian, thank you for saying something, I'll get back to you. All right,
Okay, thank
we're out of here.
you. Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Hi.